They must. Once they discredit him, the rest is going to end in a conviction. Hey, welcome back to Hot Topics TV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Let's get into this topic right here. They've decided that they want to retry YNW Melly, right? They want to retry YNW Melly. Now, YNW Melly is going to be retried. It's been set now in stone. It's official. The prosecution is ready to go. What does this mean? At this point, it means that they're not going to pull a jury out of thin air. So they're going to have to go through a jury selection process. The first question is, where are they going to find a jury that is unbiased? See, the first jury, that was easy. There was no trial before. It was easy because there were people out there who didn't have an opinion before. Everybody has seen this case. I don't give a damn if you tell me that you have never seen this case, but everybody has seen this case, okay? This is one of, if not the most watched trial ever. Everybody was on this trial. Everybody watched this trial. And everybody formed an opinion. Some people were for the defense. Some people were for the prosecution. So where are they going to find 12 people who have never seen or heard anything about this trial? It's going to be virtually impossible. I don't know how they're going to do it. But in order for them to have a fair trial, which is his constitutional right, whether we want to believe that he killed his friends or not, how the hell are they going to have an unbiased jury? They'll get over that, right? That's their job to get over that. They'll get past that. Now let's talk about what the prosecution must do to win this case. The prosecution must slim the damn case down in order to win the case, man. The prosecution, the original trial that we all watched, it was too damn long. You ever been in class and your damn teacher is trying to explain something and this teacher is going the long route and you start doing like this? And you missing parts and pieces of how to get the damn problem solved. And then by the time she get to the end of the explanation, you don't know what the hell she was talking about. It's like going to church and the pastor or the preacher is taking forever. And you sitting up there because grandma don't want you to sleep in church, right? But you can't help it because he up there preaching for like 4 hours now. And you starting to do one of these. That's how it was in the original YNW Melly trial. It was too much information. And I understand that the lawyer was long-winded and the lawyer felt like they had so much information that they needed to give to the jury, to the public, so everybody understands why they're going for a death penalty. They need to slim it down. It was too much. The average person nowadays thinks just like how they use their smartphones. Yeah, believe it or not, attention spans are short, right? People, just like how you pick your phone up and you're like, you're on IG, you look at this, something might hold your attention for like a minute. And then you're like, I've seen enough of that. Scroll next. No, don't like that next. Don't like that next. Here's a very interesting piece of topic that might hold your attention for 4 or 5 minutes. And after that, scroll that too, next. This is how the average person thinks. So you sitting up there as a prosecution trying to go from A to Z and everything in between and dot all the I's and cross all the T's and underline this and parenthesis that. These people ain't trying to hear all that, man. Get to the point. Get to the point. The point is they need to focus on all the forensic evidence they have, compile it, and give it to the jury in a way that they can understand it. Listen, when we first got Bortlen at the hospital, when he drove the bodies there, he did not mention Melly was in the car with him. Why? Because this was their plan to cover this up. Melly was the one that left the vehicle. Where are the 2 satchels or bags that YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser were carrying? They were not in the bag. They were not in the car. The car was seized at the hospital, right, by forensics. Those were not in the car. Somebody who left that vehicle took those with them for whatever reason that might have been. Everybody probably had their blickies on them, their guns on them, and they took those along with the real murder weapons and everything else, right? It was a plan. You have to get straight to it for the prosecution, for the jury to be like, start eating it up from the beginning, start understanding the picture from the beginning. Why didn't he mention him he was in the car when he first dropped the bodies off at the hospital? Obviously they were trying to cover something up. How come he arrived at the hospital in a different clothing than the clothing that he was seen getting in the car on video in? Did y'all stop somewhere to change your clothes? Because according to his story, there was no stop to change his clothes. They left the studio, they were driving, they got shot upon, and he drove the bodies to the hospital. That's it, right? And we know that to be a lie. Because what? The cell tracking information shows they went this route, then they drove around, then they waited for however minutes over here in this location. That is how we were able to find the actual area where they took the car to go stage the murder, where they got out of the car and they shot up the vehicle from the outside. Now, forensic evidence shows that all the shots came from this side. Look at these pictures right here when we turn the lights off and the lumina or luminous or lumini, whatever that thing is called, is put on. It shows the blood splatter. You notice that there's a figure of a person sitting in that same back seat where the person who he failed to tell us was in the car. Here is where he sat after we found this video footage right here of him actually getting in the car. Now, this is where we drew him, Melly, into the story, because this is where we found out that he was actually in the car, right? And they got to go on from there. They can't be coming with all this long, oh, he was in a gang, and his gang initiation, and the people he's associated with, and this could have been something to get into a gang or to show homage to a gang, or he wanted to be a young Don, or he was being groomed into that. All that shit gotta go. They have to take that out of it. Fun fact. We know a lot of people that are gang affiliated, that have been in gangs, that are in gangs now, and they have never killed anybody. So being in a gang doesn't mean you're a murderer automatically. And also, for them to waste that much time focusing on his gang affiliation or association, however you want to put it, that's just a waste of time. That just wears the jury out. And then, like I said before, this is the part where you start to fall asleep in church right here. This is where it's important that you stay awake. But they already bored them to death with that whole gang stuff and gang affiliation stuff, that by the time they got to the real stuff, the jury is nodding off. They're not hearing, they're not processing, they're not taking in this information that's been given to them. So at the end of all of it, the jury came back like that first jury. They came back and said, we want to hear some of this testimony again. Why? Because they didn't hear it the last time. They were like this. Oh my God. Right? So in order to win this conviction, the prosecution in the YNW Melly's new trial will have to slim the damn case down. Slim it down. You know what? I would even say that they need to order a psych eval. I'm surprised nobody has ordered a psych evaluation on YNW Melly. Is there something going on with this young man? Is he troubled? Does he have ADD, ADHD, multi-personality disorder, multiple personality disorder? Is he bipolar, lukewarm, schizophrenic, whatever you want to call it? Is he any of these things? And then have that done by some professionals, and then get the damn death penalty off the table. If any of these come into play, get the death penalty off the table, because if somebody is ill mentally and has been that way for a while, then it's not fair that you put them on death row if they're not treated or have not been treated. You understand? Life in prison without the possibility of parole, where he can get all the help in the world he needs, yes, but death row, get that off the table. I think the jury also feels a bit guilty, because they're like, damn, he did this at 19 years old. He's still relatively young. He is what, 23, 24 now? So sending a 23-year-old to the death penalty, I don't know if we really want to do that. So yeah, take that off the table as well. Order psych eval as well. What if this ends in another mistrial? Well, if this trial ends in another mistrial, then I'm willing to bet that there won't be a third time trying this. This is where YNW Melly will walk out of prison, right? This is where YNW Melly will be a free man. Matter of fact, what is today's date? Today is the 27th. Tomorrow they will be meeting again. The prosecution, the lawyers for YNW Melly, the judge, all of them. I am expecting his attorneys to say, hey, listen, y'all had my client locked up now for years. We went to trial and you saw what happened, right? The jury could not decide because your case was not that solid. So let's put him out on bail so he can fight this from the outside with some peace of mind. And whatever the conviction is at the end, we'll accept it. But at least get him out of there and put him on bail right now. The judge will have to look at all that. The judge will have to say, nah, because I think he's a flight risk, or I think he might have people harmed while he's out, or whatever the case may be. Just like how Young Thug has been denied bond 5 times now because the judge keeps saying, I think if he goes out, he's a danger to the community. He's the man that caused the shots. He can have people eliminated, witnesses intimidated, all kinds of stuff. Evidence can be confiscated, messed up, hidden, whatever the hell. He can do a lot of things if we let him out of here. That will throw this whole case off to make himself and others not be guilty in court. So no, we're not letting him out. It'll be up to the judge to say if YNW Melly gets to get out on the 28th when they meet. We'll find out after that if that's the case. If this is another mistrial at his new trial, ain't gonna be no more trial. I absolutely think that the judge is going to dismiss it this time. Was it with prejudice or without prejudice, whatever, meaning there won't ever be another trial again. He's done. Throw this shit away. Go home, Melly. Go live your life, right? And I'm sure that's what his people are waiting for. You could see the look on his lawyer's face when they said mistrial, but there will be a new trial. They did not look happy. They were hoping for not guilty, get my client up out of there. They know that a mistrial and having to go through another trial again, it only means that the prosecution will come at them much harder this time. The prosecution have studied their case. They have revealed everything that they have now. So the prosecution knows exactly what it is they're working with now, and which wasn't much. It's the one damn witness that threw some reasonable doubt into the case by saying Melly got out of that car down the road away from cameras and he got into the red vehicle with us and we went home together. We don't know where Bortlen went. Yeah, the prosecution must eliminate that reasonable doubt right there. And they can. They have the stuff to do it. Glass's testimony goes against that last witness's testimony. Glass is more credible. Glass said, I didn't wake up. The whole time we was driving, I didn't wake up. But except for when we got to the guard shack. There is a still pic. I don't know if they have the video footage of it. I'm pretty sure they got a video footage of it, of them entering the facility or the place where they live at the guard shack. When they got to the guard shack, the camera was in the car. The camera shows Glass in the car, wide awake, like he said he was when he got to the guard shack. Melly is not in the car. That other guy who testified last for the defense for Melly's team that saved them by putting that reasonable doubt in there, he ain't in there. He is not the one that's credible, is what they have to drive home to the jury. Once they are able to do that, it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap, right? How will they find a unbiased jury? I don't know. I don't know. And then What if Bortlen decides to do last minute deal? What if Bortlen decides to do a last minute deal? You know what the icing on the cake for the prosecution would be for this case? The icing on the cake would be to cut Bortlen a deal from behind the scenes and then have Bortlen show up as their star witness and fucking testify. If they do that and Bortlen does do that, it's a wrap. All Bortlen has to do, the prosecution already laid it out. All Bartlett got to do is come in and agree and cut himself a deal and go on with his life. He's still going to get some prison time, but it won't be like the kind of prison time that Melly is going to get because he will be seen as the trigger man, right? Okay, I've watched the interview recently with Bortlen and I've come to the conclusion that Bortlen is not bright at all. Matter of fact, I was watching that with somebody and the person I was watching it with said, he has a learning disability. He is slow. You can tell that Bortlen is slow. I don't care what nobody want to say outside of this. I'm saying it. I think Bortlen has some form of learning disability or the boy is just slow. The way how he articulates himself and the way how he explains stuff, it's like he starts out trying to make a sentence and then he never gets to making a sentence. So the sentence ends with, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? And that's it. But it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? You're like, what the fuck? What is he saying? So Bortlen to me seems like someone that's easily manipulated, right? Someone who wants to live that gangster life. Someone who wants to live that star life as well. Blow up big in the music industry, write raps, travel, tour, sell records, all that stuff. I mean, it's a dream come through. But it's on a wing and a prayer and on Melly's back. It's all dependent on if Melly beats this case or not. Because apparently he can't do it on his own, right? Now, if Bortlen is smart, Bortlen would cut that deal. Because if Melly gets, and people have been coming at me and saying this, if Melly beats the case, then Bartlett Walks. How y'all figure that? If Melly beats the case, Bartlett Walks? How y'all figure that? Bartlett was the one that drove 2 bodies to the hospital. Bartlett was the one that gave a story that the damn car was shot up on the road. And it wasn't. And forensics shows that it wasn't. They already proved that it wasn't. It was staged. Bartlett was the one that has gunshot residue on some part of his body. Which means you were around when guns were being fired that killed these people and it wasn't a drive-by, so you better tell the truth. And if you can't tell the truth, then you're the one. Of course, in Melly's trial, they said that Melly is the one that killed both of them. So when Bortlen's trial comes around, they can't say again that Bortlen's the one that killed both of them after they said Melly is the one that killed both of them, because a good defense attorney is going to say, well, goddamn, make your mind up. Who is it that killed both of them? First you said it was Melly, now you saying it's Bortlen. Who is it, really? But Bortlen will be how should I say it? Bortlen will be incriminated. He will be included in the fact that he staged it. He conspired to cover it up. Yeah, he helped to stage it and he conspired to cover it up. And that's that. So, with whoever the shooter is, even if Melly walks, Bortlen cannot walk. So, for Bortlen to save himself from getting the whole brunt of this, which honestly, I think that was the plan from the beginning. The plan from the beginning was to throw Bortlen under the bus, but Bortlen wasn't smart enough to see the damn plan. Right? That's why I made a video before this called Last Man Standing. Because if you look at it, it's 4 of them. You got Sack Chaser, Juve, you got Bortlen, and you got Melly. It's 4 of them. Make up the YNW collective, right? Who's going to be the last man standing with all the money that's on the table? Well, Juve and Sack Chaser, they're dead. Leaves only 2, Bortlen and Melly. Well, damn. But this murder situation that happened right now, somebody has got to take the fall for this. Who's going to take the fall? Melly is the star that makes all the money or is the main attraction, right? Hey, Bortlen is expendable. We get rid of Bortlen, we could always get new hype men and people around him. One man stands, and that's Melly. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. And I'll catch you on the next video. They're going to court. And like I said, the only thing the prosecution has to do is slim the damn case down, not make it so long and drawn out. Get to the point. Focus on strictly evidence only. Discredit everything that they've said. And the major part is discrediting that last witness for the defense who said that Melly got out of the car. Show the jury that he did not get out of the car. Use Glass's testimony against him and dig into that. Paint that picture clearly and it'll be a wrap. End of this. I have some bets going on. It ain't no money bet. It's just a bet that do you think he'll be found guilty? And I said yes. So a lot of people are watching this and they're like, yo, I told you it was going to be a mistrial. I told you you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, let's go to trial again. It's not over. And I'm still sticking to what I said. It is going to be a guilty verdict. Watch. I'll catch y'all on the next video, man. I'm out. Peace.